How much are you supposed to have to be on track for retirement? Great question here today. We're going to look at a couple different sources to give you a good idea if you're doing the right things. Thank you so much for checking the channel out today. My name is Agabus. This is your financial education channel, and let's see if you're on track today. We're over here at Yahoo Finance, where they have an article from Benzinga. The average American couple has saved how much for retirement, and how do you compare? Of course, retirement is supposed to be a time of rest and relaxation after years of hard work. But let's see if you are on track for that retirement. A recent study from Zeddy sheds light on this concern that roughly 40% of Americans fear retirement more than death because of their financial insecurities. Well, let's put some of that insecurity to rest for you here, why don't we? Some of this information is from a NerdWallet study using the 2022 Survey of Consumer Finances, says indicating 60% of Americans lack a retirement-specific account, and the disparity in average household retirement savings by age group further illustrates the issue. We've got a couple different numbers here as you can take a look at your age bracket. Under 35, the average would be 49,000 people have saved so far, with a median of 18,800. As a refresher for the average versus the median, we're going to go over here to thebalancemoney.com. The median, if you have a bunch of information, is just the middle point in that list, where the average is all the different numbers added together and then divided by the total. So the average will have some of these higher numbers skew things a bit higher. The median is just going to be the laundry list, and someone's in the middle. Ages 35 to 44, 141,000 on average, and the median is 45. 45 to 54, 313 with a median of 115. You can see some of these are really starting to get skewed. 55 to 64, kind of pre-retirement here. And then I would assume for most folks either in or close to retirement, the average is 609 with a median of 200. Now these are just some current numbers for people based upon a recent study from NerdWallet. Let's take a look at some of the financial companies and see what are some recommendations. Over here at t.rowe.com, your age 35, 50, or 60, how much are you supposed to have saved by that time? One of the first things that sticks out here is that T.Rowe Price says a 15% per year savings rate for your income is now the new standard. That's interesting. So here are a couple different benchmarks that we're going to use from T.Rowe Price. Just for conversation's sake, we're going to use the average income in the U.S., the average household income according to census.gov. Just for some rounded numbers, we're going to use 75,000 here for conversation's sake. So if you are 35 years old, making 75,000 for the household, you should have half of that salary roughly saved today. If you're 35 years old, you should have between 1 and 1.5 times your salary. So 75,000 or more. We get up into the 2x, 2 times salary once you hit 45. So again, this household making 75,000 should have around 150 to as high as 300,000 have saved. And if we start looking closer here to retirement at age 60, little pre-retirement I should say, you should have 5.5 to 11 times your salary. Just for some rounded numbers and conversation's sake, let's just use a rounded number of 10x. 75,000 a year. At 10x, you should have 750,000 for retirement. Jumping over to JP Morgan's Guide to Retirement, here are some other retirement checkpoints as well. You can see on this list here, you can look at different incomes at the top bracket, your age off to the left, and some of their assumptions over here on the right. Let's look at something right in the middle again. 70,000 for household income. Middle-age worker at 40 should have about 140,000-ish in retirement savings. And lastly here, Fidelity.com, some of their rough numbers also would recommend similar numbers. You see a 40-year-old here For conversation's sake, again, $75,000 a year for income. Should have 3x that, which brings you up to about $210 and change. If you feel like you are not on track for retirement based upon some of these quick benchmarks, of course you could increase your savings rate. As T.rowe Price's website said, a 15% rate, especially with inflation, probably is a better number to work off of than 10%. Maximizing your retirement accounts, IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, 403bs. Paying off debt would help to get some of that debt load off so you can save and invest more. Delaying Social Security could be an option for folks getting close to retirement. Diversifying your investments. Some people are starting to say, use a little bit of Bitcoin. Create a budget, of course. Work a bit longer. And review and adjust your plan regularly. Of course, this video is not any sort of recommendations, not any sort of idea on how to plan, how to invest, or how to save. Just some general information for you out there in the YouTube atmosphere. If you really want to make sure that you're on track, I recommend that you speak with your tax person, with your financial advisor, with your attorney, with your financial friend, somebody else to make sure that you're doing the right things and staying on track for retirement. There are plenty of websites online for those do-it-yourselfers, or if you'd like to get a rough idea if you're on track, you can find some retirement calculators online to give you some ideas. I hope today is helpful. I hope you are on track, and if not, that this is a good kick in the pants for you to get back on track toward retirement. As always, stay inquisitive, stay informed, stay subscribed for more, and we'll see you tomorrow.